October 1st, 2017. Las Vegas would encounter a shooter. However, eyewitness reports would give a different version of events. Was there more than one shooter?
We're getting from civilians saying that there might have been 3 shooters.
Well, GC60, we've interviewed multiple people leaving the concert venue that is on the north side of Hacienda, east side of Las Vegas Boulevard.
Paddock was born in Clinton, Iowa, where his family lived at the time. He grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and the Sun Valley neighborhood of Los Angeles, as the oldest of 4 sons of Benjamin Paddock and Dolores Hudson. Benjamin was a bank robber who was arrested in 1960 when Stephen was 7 years old. Benjamin was later convicted and escaped prison in 1969, subsequently appearing on the FBI's Most Wanted list. According to Stephen's brother Eric, quote, he was never with my mom, unquote, and Stephen had, quote, limited interaction, unquote, with Benjamin following release from prison. He had spoken about how growing up with a single mother and the family's financial instability caused him to prioritize being self-reliant and self-sustaining. Paddock attended Richard E. Byrd Middle School and Sun Valley High School, graduating from John H. Francia Polytechnic High School in 1971, and graduated California State University, Northridge in 1977, with a degree in business administration.
The final moments of Paddock's life are caught on camera. Paddock is seen gambling in the casino. Other clips show him at a store and at a bar. In the next clips, we see him talking to staff, and then we see Paddock bringing in luggage to the hotel. On Monday, September 25th, Paddock would rent a room in a suite. This is where the weapons would be found, and the body of Paddock would later be discovered. That night, Paddock was seen leaving the hotel and would travel to his home in Mesquite. Tuesday night, Paddock returned to the hotel and would bring up 12 luggage bags to his room. Wednesday, Paddock would repeat the same routine, bringing up more bags. Over the next few days, Paddock would continue this routine until the day of the massacre. Another mystery revolves around Paddock's guests. They have never been identified. The following clip takes place outside the Mandalay Bay Hotel. The gunshots are close as documented in the audio. However, in the next clip, you can hear the gunshots taking place in another area of Vegas.
Now it sounds like it's coming from farther away.
A hotel maintenance worker called down from the 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay after a security guard was shot. The recording raises more questions about the police response.
These are some of the first gunshots fired by Stephen Paddock from inside his suite at Mandalay Bay.
Call the police. Someone's firing a gun up here. Someone's firing a rifle on the 32nd floor down the hallway.
Building engineer Stephen Schuck used his radio to let hotel staff know about the terror unfolding on the 32nd floor.
It's at the end of the hallway.
Security guard Jesus Campos was already shot.
I can't tell you what room. He looked like he fired down the hallway when I got close to the door.
After Schuck's call, it's still unclear when exactly the Mandalay Bay staff called the police. Originally, Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo had said Campos interrupted the shooter. But now, Lombardo says those first shots were fired 6 minutes before Paddock started his rampage. Investigators say Paddock did not have any gambling debts, and his girlfriend did not worry about his mental health. But his motive is still unclear.
The next following clip takes place on the same night and takes place nearly 2 miles away at the Bellagio Hotel.
This is the live video inside the Bellagio Hotel, where everybody had to come together because there was mass chaos. As you can see, everybody is around here sitting. So we haven't been able to go back to our rooms. Daniel and I were able to get that there was stuff that was going on. I don't know about the other hotels, but I do know about the Bellagio because I hit the floor and Daniel jumped on top of me.
It's impossible for Paddock to be in two places at once. It's more likely that there were multiple shooters. The media denies these claims.
Courts have said multiple people reported multiple shooters. Any thoughts on this?
Yes, and that's something that has come up a few times. And, you know, when things like this happen, you get so many varying accounts, especially early on and people are trying to piece together exactly what happened. And the investigators were asked about this late last night at their last press conference, and they said that there was no truth to any of those rumors.
The shooting lasted from 9 to 11 minutes. Many of the survivors talk about multiple shooters, despite the official narrative.
I do believe that there was 100% more than one shooter. Every other person that I've talked to that did get unfortunately hit as well have all said the same things. When we got shot initially, didn't care which way it came from. I just know it was time to run. We ran about 200 yards in a 180-degree line from where the gunshots were coming from, at least the sounds. Got behind a car, made a call to my parents, you know, and I thought that's kind of where I'm hanging out right now, at least until everything kind of subsides. Past that, I'm waiting, and all of a sudden we hear the little whizzing going by us, and the bullets are just flying by. And when something's coming up and down, or at least from a different angle, they're either going to hit the ground, they're going to a lot of different things are going to happen. When someone's shooting from a straight horizontal line, it's just going to keep flying. As soon as we heard a little break in it, we knew we had to keep running. We heard the gunfires approaching where we were. They just started getting closer and closer and louder and louder. And I knew we were getting gunshots that were closer to us than where they originally started, and that's when we knew we had to run. I do believe that there were people inside of the venue that once the initial shooting started, and everyone kind of panicked, running everything. Once the lights turned on the stage and kind of lit everything up, it was a lit target. Every other night at the concert, everybody kind of exited right off Las Vegas Boulevard. That was standard. That was routine. You get out of the concert and you go down and go to the next casino. Well, at 10 o'clock, they closed every exit on Las Vegas Boulevard, every single one. They gated them all closed with chain link fences. 10:08, the shooting started, and it was we were pigs sitting in a corral. We only had one exit to go out of, and I'm sure nobody was familiar with where we were going. Everyone was just running, kind of following the sheet is what we were doing. The same exits that we have came in and left Friday and Saturday night were definitely closed. There were people that went over there and tried to leave, and there were cops that were telling them, no, you have to go the other way. You can't come out here. Go the other way, run the other way. There was just a lot of things that just kind of didn't sit right. Of course, they're trying to come up with and try and close this as quick as they can, you know, and try and put this behind everybody, you know, the whole country, the whole nine. But it was just very interesting, you know, with all the police activity, even at the hospitals, interviewing the patients. I don't think one patient has been able to leave without giving another statement, myself included. As soon as I got discharged, there were 2 federal agents that wanted to get another audio statement when I left. And I'm telling them the same thing I'm telling you. I definitely believe there were at least 3 to 5 shooters, and 100% there was not just one person shooting from the 32nd floor.
Vegas police have no idea why the shooting started or why it stopped. To this very day, FBI and police have never been able to determine a motive behind this attack.
There are so many questions surrounding this case. Were there multiple shooters? How could Stephen be in multiple places at once? We will likely never have the answers.
Is this a case of mass hysteria, or were there multiple shooters?